Hello and welcome to the Play Android Game Reviews. Daniel here, and today I'll be showing you the arcade game Spaceship by developer Lonely Giant Games, and we have the starting screen here with our spaceship on the left, complete with its air bubble and a jetpack, and this giant computer thing in the middle with the name of the game, our score, and different options here. We have our play button, our sheep button, which I will be explaining later, and our high score button. Then we have this giant X with which you can close the game down, or the mute button on the right side where you can mute the game, which is pretty self-explanatory here. And we have the remove ads at the bottom as well, so you can get rid of the ads for a small fee. And we basically already see the whole background in the game with this metal stuff at top and this deserted planet kind of landscape at the bottom, complete with an asteroid field in the background. But let's just hop into the game and see how it plays. And it already shows you what to do, tap and hold to fly. So it's pretty basic one-touch gameplay here, and let's just see. Okay, this is the game, this is how it plays, and you will be reminded from the get-go of another pretty popular game, and I'm talking about Flappy Bird. And basically it's the same thing, sort of, because you have to control this sheep, you have to keep it afloat with continuous tapping. And this is the same premise. Basically you have to avoid obstacles, but here you also have to collect those flowers, and you see your flower count up top. I already collected one here, and let's just see if I can get any more. And yeah, you see the game is kind of this kept in this retro look and this pixelated look here, which is actually quite nice and really fitting for this game. And it's consistent throughout, so you already have, you see the buttons here are pixelated as well, and the sheep of course. And there's quite a lot of detail to it with how the sheep's coat looks and the animations of the sheep and the stuff floating around here. And it really looks quite nice, I have to say. I really like it, and it looks consistent, which is not really you don't find every game looking as consistent as this one here. And what I think after playing it a while, I mean, I really like the graphics so far, but there could be a bit more going on. I mean, maybe other colors for the crystals here, or something flying through the background, just some eye candy here to make it a bit more exciting in the long run. But as it is right now, it's really pretty as a game, as a nice little game. And nothing much to say for the graphics here, because I really like them. And overall the game looks nice, plays nice with the graphics, no hiccups here. And yeah, pretty good for this kind of game, easy game. And if I'm as always, if I stop talking for no reason, it's because I have to play the game, and it's quite demanding keeping up with the tapping and explaining all this stuff here, so bear with me here. And yeah, and as you might hear, there are some sound effects in the game, like the jetpack sound for the sheep, or the sheep's actual sound. It baahs when it collects a flower, or if it crashes into an object here. And this is sadly except for some UFO sounds you might hear if you pass one of those UFOs again. This is basically all there is in terms of sounds in the game, which is kind of sad, because like it is with the pixelated style, there's strangely no music, and with the light gameplay and the light demeanor of the game, there's no music in the game, which I found kind of odd because it would really well fit the overall style of the game, especially if it would be some kind of chiptune music, which would really well fit the overall design here. And this is kind of strange that there's no music here. I mean, the sounds so far, they will match the game's gameplay pretty good, but with music it would be even better. So, this is all there is to talk about the sounds, because there are not enough sounds to really make an impact here, and I think missing music is one point you shouldn't neglect when rating this game. And here we have 11 flowers now, and now I can show you the other sheep. Here we have our standard space sheep, and it's already unlocked, but you can switch between different sheep here, and we have a cupcake sheep, a super sheep, and a robot sheep, and you can unlock them for your flowers here, and we have 11, so you just unlock the cupcake sheep here and we select it. You see it switching on the left here, and it has wings instead of a jetpack, and it actually, that wasn't really good right here. It actually makes some kind of flapping noise when it ascends here. And yeah, this is a nice little touch with the unlockable sheep here, which isn't something you find in a lot of games that try to, not necessarily try to, but they are in the same vein as the original Flappy Bird here. And what these games are all about is, the tapping, as I said before, as the game explained it. And here I have to say it just really works nicely. And we have the one-touch controls, and they are responsive. There's no input lag here, and there's basically nothing much to say about the controls because they just work. They do what they are supposed to do, and it's a nice game to play with. And you can just pull it out of your, put it on your smartphone, pull it out whenever you like, just play along. And the one-touch gameplay, the one-touch controls really add to the fun here, because it's easy to get into and intuitive. And yeah, not much to say here as well. And on the technical side, the whole game looks pretty solid and plays pretty solid. And we have, you see me just hopping in again and again, and this is one of the key features I think is most important for this kind of game. You have to get back in quickly, and it shouldn't take you long to get back into the game and play it again. And this one here really does the job pretty well. And let's see, I'm not doing too good here right now, but let's talk about originality a bit, because I mentioned Flappy Bird earlier, and of course some might think, okay, this is just basically another clone, but it really isn't, because clones try to imitate the original gameplay here, and this one here is basically it tries to improve on the gameplay. And it isn't as frustrating as the original Flappy Bird, which makes it quite fun to play actually. And it has a lot of things going on, like the moving backgrounds and the attention to detail that sets it apart from all the competitors. And I think the theme with sheep in space is something new as well. So I kind of get a mixed feeling in terms of originality here, and I have to say still it has its competition. It still is in the same way as the original, so kind of diminishes the overall score here. But as you see, it is quite unique in its own regard when it comes to comparing it to the pool of other iterations of the whole gameplay. And in terms of replayability, I have to score it higher and give it, consider it much more replayable than a Flappy Bird or anything like it, because you have your sheep to unlock, you have this not as frustrating gameplay, you have the easy gameplay, and you have your high score. I'll show you in a minute, because the game actually connects you to Google Play games from the get-go. And here we have my score here, and from our testing I already have 46. You have your public scores, of course, and fairly standard thing here with Google Play games. Sadly there are no achievements, which would be a nice addition. And one thing that might hamper the replay value of the game is that, of course, there's not much change in the gameplay at all. It's just the flapping thing or the tapping thing here and the unlocking, and maybe some elements that could freshen up the whole gameplay, maybe just some surprise elements. Things like the moving UFOs, for example, are a nice touch, and maybe more of this could even increase the replay value a lot, I think. And yeah, what I really liked as well are the random levels. It's not always the same, so you kind of get a new experience with each run. And yeah, this is basically all there is to tell you about this game. I think for me it's a really nice game. It's a really light game, and I personally liked playing it and just having fun with it. And I hope you enjoyed this video as well. If you want to read the in-depth review for Spaceship, you can head right over to playandroid.com. You'll find the link to the article in the video description, as always, as well as the link to the Google Play Store, where you can download this game here for free. And I thank you for your time. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you'll tune in next time, and until then I say goodbye.